Welcome back to the show. I am so excited about this next story. For the last 110 years, the Titanic has sat at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Her secrets waiting for a time when man could safely navigate the depths of 13,000 feet. OceanGate, a privately owned company here in Everett, has focused on increasing access to the deep ocean through submersibles. The Titan is the world's only 5-person submersible to survey the Titanic, and it recently went down for its second visit to the ship that continues to capture the world's attention. Stockton Rush, owner of OceanGate, joins me now. Thank you for being here with us.
Great to be here.
There are so much fascination still surrounding this boat that went down 110 years ago. Tell me about why you think folks are so interested.
Well, it's just an incredible story. Maiden voyage, their stories of the opulence and then the new immigrants who are coming to America, the sinking of it, and then of course the movies. You know, there have been 18 movies, the big one obviously being James Cameron's, but it's incredible, the enthusiasm. The
enthusiasm doesn't go away, and you just got back from your second expedition to the site using Titan. Tell me about the submersible OceanGate developed, that you all developed there.
Well, it all really started with the idea that there had to be some kind of business opportunity in exploring the ocean. Right. The only way we were going to get the ocean explored was having tens of thousands of vehicles and people, and so we tried to look at a business reason for that. And one of the things was maybe we could use modern materials to make a different kind of submersible, one that could take 5 people, that could be relatively lightweight, that we could deploy from multiple ships. So we worked with a lot of local companies like Boeing and the University of Washington to achieve that goal, to make this business so people can explore the world.
Amazing. And you're making people's dreams come true.
I think so. Well, we think so. We have a number of people who come with us, we sometimes referred to as Titaniacs, people who have just been consumed by the Titanic, and it was just great to take them down. One woman, Renata Rojas, her entire life she has saved to do this, and she got to finally see it, and it was really an amazing thing for her and for us.
That is incredible. Let's talk about the Titanic right now. What is happening down there? I understand it's being eaten away by bacteria.
Yes, there's a specific bacteria that eats the iron of the Titanic, and then it excretes these rusticles. So when you see the pictures of the Titanic, it looks like there are these rust formations. That's actually what's left over from the bacteria that's consuming it at a huge rate.
Really? So we may not be able to see it forever. So go get into a submersible now. But the Titanic has also created its own ecosystem down there, has it not?
It has. It's an artificial reef. So at some point it will be unrecognizable maybe as the Titanic, but it will exist for centuries as an artificial reef. So it's, everything from corals to rat-tail fish to squat lobsters. They're all starting to populate the wreck.
What are we still learning?
Well, we're learning a lot. What's I think amazes me, having been a space person and now an ocean person, is how little we know about the oceans and how important they are to everything that happens to life on this planet. The future of mankind, I like to say, is underwater. And so what we're learning about how metals and artificial reefs can create ecosystems, how those compare to natural ecosystems that are caused by boulders that are dropped by icebergs that go down the North Atlantic. There's so many things. Every dive we go on, we learn something new.
That is amazing. And that is, like you said, for the future of humanity. Now, not everyone can go on these expeditions, obviously. So OceanGate partnered with Varsity Tutors, yes. And they've created a class for kids and adults to participate. Tell us about Varsity Tutors.
Yeah, so Varsity Tutors is one of the largest online education organizations out there. And so they have a number of classes. They've done a little bit on the Titanic before. This was the first time there's been a live broadcast from the expedition. We can't do it from the sub, but we did it when we came back to port. So I was able to walk through the submersible. We had David Kincannon, who's one of the experts on the Titanic and the history of the Titanic. So they allow everyone to be able to participate in our expedition, which is really one of our biggest goals.
That's really cool. I messed up and I said tours, but it almost is like you are giving this incredible tour to these students. You're an explorer. Why is it so important that we share these expeditions, these missions with everyone?
Well, I think just and it's been amazing since I formed the company 12 years ago, the level of ocean awareness that's out there. When I first started it, people didn't even know that the ocean was deep. The Titanic is at the average depth of the ocean, and that's almost 13,000 feet. So it's huge. There's so much life in the ocean to be discovered. So it's important that it isn't just something that the few researchers or the billionaires who have subs can go do. Everybody needs to understand this. Even people in Iowa who may not get to the ocean need to understand that half the oxygen they breathe comes from the ocean.
Right, and even more so, the importance is for kids, right? Our future.
Yes, I mean, I wanted to be I wanted to go to space, and I really wanted to be an explorer. And had I known what there was in the ocean to explore, had I not been told when I was growing up that there isn't life below where sunlight doesn't reach, I probably would have been a marine biologist.
Oh, that would be so cool. Well, you are already contributing to marine biology, so. What's the future of Earth exploration, do you believe? I mean, like you said, so much of the ocean is not tapped. How do we get there?
Well, and that's what's sort of amazing. And people are told that 3/4 of the planet is the ocean. Well, that's in 2 dimensions. In 3 dimensions, if you look at the livable volume, it's 98% of the planet. There's 5, think of it, 5 Earths worth of exploration to be done in the ocean. There's life all the way through the water column. We see the most bizarre creatures. And to me, that's where we need to be focusing is, not only to understand what's happening in the ocean and how it's going to affect climate and the like, but that's where we're going to have cities, and that's where people are going to be. They're going to be down there exploring. Maybe there's some environmentally sensitive mining that would go on, but working on fish stocks and doing research down there. To me, we'll have cities underwater before we have them up in space.
On the moon?
Yeah.
That is so cool. And there are so many incredible minerals down there when you get the ocean water and the magma coming up that can be so useful, right?
Yes, I mean, not just minerals, but energy. And then you have undiscovered, the things, people like to talk about treasure. It's been said that 1/4 of all the gold that was mined is on the bottom of the ocean. Because when it was coming from the New World, you filled it full of gold until you had no freeboard. A bad wave and you're out.
Wow.
So there's just amazing things.
We don't have much time left. Of course, I could talk to you about this all day, but I just wanted to know, what were your first feelings and thoughts when you saw the Titanic for the very first time?
It was, I didn't really have a chance to absorb it until I got to the surface, back to the ship. Because when I was there, I had P.H. Nargeolet, who's an expert on the Titanic, and he and I were navigating while all the mission specialists were in the dome looking at it. And so I'm just trying to make sure we don't touch it, we stay off, we get great pictures, we get great light. When I got to the surface was this amazing thing, because it had been 12 years I've been working to do this, and to get there was great.
I remember, I think it was 1984, 1985 when the Titanic was first found, right?
Yes.
And the pictures that emerged of all the things that were down there, are those things still down there? Nobody's grabbing these things, are they?
Well, there was some salvage work that was done over the last 20 years. I don't think any salvage has happened in at least more than a decade. So a company did get salvage rights. They pulled up 5,500 artifacts, which you can see at various places. But there's still a lot down there. You still see cups and wine bottles and some personal effects. It's just amazing. I mean, as you go through the debris field, and then you have all these creatures living on them now. So you'll see a piece of cement from the Turkish bath, and there'll be a coral that's been growing on it for the last 100 years.
Oh my gosh, this is so incredible. It was such a pleasure to talk to you. I never want to scuba dive, but I definitely want to jump into a Titan submersible. So thank you so much. This is awesome.